The crash and the secret. It was a quiet night in the small town of Grayhill. The sky was dark, filled with heavy clouds, and the wind howled through the trees. John Miller, a lonely farmer in his 50s, was sitting on his wooden porch, sipping hot tea. His farm was far from the town, surrounded by thick forest and silence. Life here was simple, slow, and sometimes too quiet. Suddenly, the peace was broken by a loud boom in the sky. John stood up fast. He looked up and saw a bright, burning object falling from the sky. It was not a plane. It was faster and glowing blue. It crashed deep into the woods behind his farm with a loud explosion. The ground shook under his feet. What the hell was that? John whispered. He grabbed his flashlight and shotgun, then ran into the woods. The trees were still shaking, and the air smelled like burnt metal. As he got closer, he saw something strange, a silver pod, half buried in the ground, smoking and sparking. John's heart raced. He slowly walked closer. The pod's door was open. Inside, he saw a small figure, curled up and not moving. It looked like a child, a girl. She had strange clothes and glowing blue marks on her skin. Her hair was silver white, and her eyes, when they slowly opened, were bright violet. She looked at John with fear. "Please," she whispered in a voice so soft it was almost gone. John dropped his shotgun and rushed forward. Hey, it's okay. You're safe now." She tried to speak again, but fainted in his arms. Without wasting time, John carried her back to his farmhouse. He laid her on the couch and covered her with a blanket. She was freezing cold, and her skin looked almost too smooth. Like it wasn't human, but her face looked like any scared, lost child. For a moment, John just stared. "What are you?" he said softly. He cleaned her cuts and gave her warm soup when she woke up. She didn't speak much. She didn't know her name. She looked around like everything was new to her. John asked, "Where are you from?" She only whispered, "Far, far away." That night, strange men in black suits arrived in the town. They asked questions about a crash and warned people to stay out of the forest. John didn't tell anyone. He just watched them from his window, holding his shotgun tighter. Over the next few days, the girl slowly got stronger. She learned too fast. She began understanding English by just listening. She pointed at a book and called it Knowledge Holder. She touched John's old radio and called it Primitive Tech. John was both amazed and confused. He decided to call her Luna because of her silver hair and glowing skin, like the moon. One night while John was asleep, Luna walked into the kitchen. The lights flickered. She stood near the window, looking at the stars. Then she whispered something in a strange language. The room filled with a soft blue light. John woke up and walked in. "Luna?" She turned to him slowly. Her eyes were glowing. Her voice was clear and perfect now. "They will come for me," she said. John froze. "Who?" She looked up at the stars again. "The ones who destroyed my world." Suddenly, the lights went out. Outside, in the sky, something blinked. A light, far away, but moving closer. Luna grabbed John's hand. "We must hide." He had no idea what was happening. But one thing was clear. This girl was not just an alien. She was running from something dangerous, and now they were coming to Earth. The morning after the crash was cold and quiet, but something had changed in John's life, forever. Inside the old farmhouse, Luna sat by the window, her eyes following a bird flying in the sky. She was wearing one of John's old shirts, far too big for her, sleeves hanging past her hands. Her silver hair shimmered under the sunlight like soft threads of moonlight. She looked peaceful, but also deeply lost. John watched her from the kitchen doorway. She didn't eat much. She didn't smile. She didn't ask questions like normal children. But she watched everything, quietly, carefully. After a while, John said, "You can't just be the girl. You need a name." She looked at him, confused. What is name? He smiled, trying. To keep it simple, a name is what people call you. Mine's John. She looked out the window again. The moon was still faint in the blue sky. Then she turned to him. I like light. In darkness, she said softly. John thought for a second, then said, how about Luna? It means moon. She smiled, the first real smile since she came. Luna. From that moment, she was no longer just an alien girl. She was Luna. In the following days, Luna began to explore the house. She would touch old objects, radios, wires, farm tools, and name them with strange words like earth relic or metal cutter. She learned English quickly, too quickly. Within 5 days, she was speaking clearly and reading old books from John's shelf. But strange things also happened. One night, Luna stood near the fireplace. The fire had almost gone out. She reached toward it without fear, whispering softly. The flames rose again, without wood. John saw it. He didn't say anything. He just sat down beside her and asked, do you know how you did that? She didn't answer. Outside, government agents still searched the nearby woods. Helicopters circled now and then. But Luna never left the house. She said the air felt wrong when she was near the edge of the forest. One day, she asked John a strange question. If a bird lives with fish, is it still a bird? John blinked. Yes, but it won't feel like it belongs. Luna nodded slowly. That's how I feel. One evening, Luna was sketching something with a pencil. When John looked at the paper, his heart skipped. It was not a child's drawing. It was a symbol, detailed and sharp like a crest. A circle with stars, a crown, and 2 wings. Where did you see this? John asked. I don't know. She said, blinking. It was in my dream. A woman wore it on her chest. She called me my star. John quietly folded the paper. Something about that symbol looked real, royal, important. He didn't want to scare her, but deep inside he felt it. Luna wasn't just from another planet. She was from somewhere special. Later that night, a strange noise came from Luna's room. Ran in. She was asleep, but whispering, not in English, but in a soft, melodic alien tongue. Her eyes flickered behind her eyelids. Suddenly, a strange light came from her chest. Her necklace, a small crystal she never took off, was glowing. It projected a faint hologram above her bed. John gasped. The image showed a tall man and woman, dressed in royal armor. The man had the same glowing marks as Luna. The woman, with long silver hair, looked directly at John. Though it was a recording, her voice was clear. If you see this, protect her. She is the last star of House Velen. Then the image faded. John stood frozen. House Velen? Who were these people? Royalty? Warriors? Refugees? He looked at Luna. She was still asleep, the glow now gone. But one thing was clear. Luna was no ordinary alien child. She was being hunted, not because she was lost, but because she was important. The next morning, Luna came to the table with the paper symbol again. She pointed to the crown in the middle. I think this means I was someone. John nodded slowly. You were, and maybe still are. Luna looked at him. Can I still stay here? John placed his hand gently on her shoulder. You're home now. Whatever happens, we face it together. It started with a dream. Not the kind Luna usually had. No voices, no stars, no faces calling her name. This time, she stood in a golden hallway. The floor was smooth like glass. Tall windows showed 2 suns in the sky. And at the end of the hall, a giant door made of light slowly opened. Inside was a throne, and on that throne was her, but older, stronger, wearing silver armor, glowing like the moon. The older Luna looked at her and whispered one word, remember. Then the world cracked like glass and she woke up, heart racing, breath shaking. It was still night. Rain tapped gently on the window. Luna sat up and touched the necklace on her chest. The crystal was warm again. She looked at her hand. Her skin was glowing. In the kitchen, John was already awake. He had been reading old papers, trying to find any symbol that matched the one Luna drew. Couldn't sleep? He asked, pouring her some warm milk. Luna shook her head. I saw myself, but I was different. I felt powerful. John raised an eyebrow. Like a queen? Luna stared at him. Yes, but not just that. I felt afraid, like I was holding a secret too big to carry. John leaned back in his chair. You're not just from another world, Luna. You're from somewhere important. That symbol, it's not just decoration. It means something. Maybe a royal family. Maybe a lost civilization. Luna looked down. Why don't I remember anything fully? Maybe your mind is protecting you, John said. Sometimes pain makes memory hide. Later that day, John took her to the old barn behind the house. He had cleared space, turned it into a safe room for her to move freely, to practice. He said, "Show me what you can do." Luna hesitated, but nodded. She focused. Her eyes began to glow. A small stone near her floated into the air. Then another. Then the tools hanging nearby. She moved them without touching anything. John was stunned, not afraid, just amazed, like magic, he whispered. Luna looked at her hands. Not magic, memory. My body remembers even if my mind forgets. Suddenly, she stopped. Her face went pale. She turned to John. Something is near. John followed her gaze. Outside the barn, a black van had quietly stopped near the fence. Two figures stepped out, wearing dark suits and strange glasses. Government? Or something else? Luna whispered, "They are not from Earth." John quickly took her inside the house and turned off all lights. From the window, he watched the men scan the ground. One of them held a strange device that beeped louder when pointed toward the house. Clever, John muttered. There. Tracking the energy from your necklace. Luna touched the crystal. It's more than that. It's calling out. To who? John asked. She looked scared. I don't know if it's friend or enemy. That night, they hid in the cellar. Luna held a piece of old metal pipe tightly, trying to calm her hands. She looked at John. Do you think I was someone bad? Maybe I was a danger before I came here. John shook his head. No, I've seen bad people. They lie, you're honest. They hurt, you heal. Luna said nothing, but a tear ran down her cheek. Then, her necklace glowed again, but this time, it projected a map into the air. John and Luna watched in silence. The map showed a star system far away, a planet marked with the same royal symbol she had drawn. It blinked twice, then zoomed in, a hidden vault. A message, one word appeared. In English, key identified. John whispered, "You're the key to something. Something they want." Luna looked at the map again. No, not something they want, something they fear. Far above Earth, deep in space. Something stirred. A signal blinked. And a dark ship changed direction, toward Earth. It was not a human heart that beat inside him. It was colder, slower, stronger. Inside a stolen human body, the bounty hunter waited. He sat in a black truck, parked at the edge of town. His eyes looked human, green, calm, unblinking, but they were only copies. Behind them lived something ancient. Something designed to hunt. He had tracked the signal across 4 star systems. And now at last it was here. The last survivor of the royal bloodline. The hive had found her. Far away. In the quiet farmhouse, Luna was waking up from another strange dream. But this one was different. She saw her home planet again. But it wasn't peaceful. It was burning. The sky was dark, filled with ships like insects. Soldiers marched through fire. In the middle of it all, a huge black eye opened in the sky. It whispered one word in her mind, return. She sat up, sweating, heart racing. John was already downstairs. He had added locks to the doors, hidden weapons, even set up cameras outside. Bad dream? He asked. Luna nodded slowly. It wasn't just a dream, it was a memory. That afternoon, the two black-suited men returned. This time, they didn't knock. They stood near the edge of the farm, just watching. The taller one lifted his hand, and a strange symbol appeared in the air. Like a digital badge. Luna looked through the window and froze. That's a hive mark, she said. They're not humans. John reached for his shotgun. Then, they came to the wrong farm. But Luna grabbed his arm. Double quotes, no, you don't understand. The hive doesn't kill right away. First, they infect. They twist minds. They break families. John's face hardened. Then we don't give them that chance. That night, the barn lights began to flicker again. Luna and John checked the cameras and saw nothing. No people. No cars. Just shadows moving in the cornfield. Even though there was no wind. Luna whispered, "He's here." John looked at her. Who? Luna closed her eyes. She felt it. A mind, not far, but not alone. It moved like a spider through thoughts, searching, tasting fear. Hunter. A hive-bound tracker. He's not here to capture me, she said. He's here to study the weakness of humans. The power went out. Then the sound of slow footsteps on the porch. John loaded his shotgun. Stay behind me. But Luna walked forward instead. Her eyes glowed faintly blue in the dark. She opened the door. The man outside smiled. Too calmly. Luna, he said. Or should I say, Princess Alira of House Vilan. Luna didn't answer. The man's smile faded. You are the last code holder. The hive needs your memory. Come quietly, and I will be quick. John stepped forward. She's not going anywhere. The hunter looked at him. Earthman. Your bones are soft. Then, he changed. His face melted. Eyes became black voids. Arms stretched like blades. His human voice twisted into a digital hiss. Luna raised her hand, and a pulse of energy threw him 20 feet into the air. He crashed into the ground, rolled once, then vanished into shadow. John looked at Luna in shock. What was that? Luna stared at her own hands, glowing and shaking. That was only a part of what I can do. Back inside, they locked all doors and lit every lamp. John whispered, He'll be back. Luna nodded. He won't come alone next time. She looked at her necklace. The crystal had cracked. The hive is afraid of me. Because my memories are locked. If they get them, they will find the coordinates of the vault. John frowned. What's in the vault? She looked him dead in the eye. A sleeping army, my people. Far above Earth, in orbit, the hive ship grew closer. Inside, hundreds of black pods began to glow, and the hive queen whispered to her soldiers, Prepare for awakening. The bloodline is active. Begin Earth Cleanse Protocol. The stars were different tonight. Luna could feel it in her skin, the weight in the sky above her. 2 lights now hovered above Earth's orbit. One pulsed soft blue. The other, a deep burning red. One was searching for her. The other was coming to destroy her. John stood beside her on the porch, shotgun in hand, eyes tired from too many sleepless nights. What are they? He asked. Luna didn't blink. One of them is from my people. The other is hive. And how do you know? She looked down at her necklace, now cracked, flickering. Because it still listens to them. I can feel the signal. Like an old song I forgot how to sing. Inside the house, Luna sat by the fire. Her hands trembled as she held the drawing of the royal crest, the one she drew weeks ago. She stared at it. And then, she began to remember. A room filled with silver light. A tall woman in armor placing a crown gently on Luna's head. A voice whispering, One day, you will lead the Starburn. Flashes, fire, running through crystal halls, guards screaming. Her mother's final words, Go, hide among the kind ones." And then, silence. She gasped and dropped the paper. John rushed over. "What happened?" "I remember now," Luna said, eyes wide with shock. "My name is Alira Villan. I'm not just a princess." She looked up at him. "I was trained to become the next queen." Outside, the sky lit up. The blue ship entered the atmosphere silently, like a falling snowflake of light. It landed beyond the forest, gentle, careful. But it wasn't alone. High above, the red ship, the Hive warcraft, blinked once, then disappeared from Earth sensors that it had cloaked. John and Luna ran through the woods toward the blue ship. Trees whispered with wind. The forest was silent, too silent. As they reached a clearing, the ship opened. A tall figure stepped out, covered in armor that shimmered like water. His face was sharp, glowing tattoos on his neck. He kneeled before Luna. "Princess Alira," he said. "By the stars you live." Luna didn't move. "Who are you?" "Commander Rail of the Starburn Guard," he said. "Your mother's last general. We received the beacon. We came to bring you home." John looked at Luna. "You don't have to go if you don't want to." But Rail shook his head. "You must. There's more. You carry the vault memory. The Hive knows this. They're already moving to destroy Earth before you unlock it." Suddenly, a sound ripped through the forest. A sharp digital scream. Like a broken radio screaming in pain, Rail's eyes narrowed. "They're here!" Out of the shadows, black-cloaked Hive soldiers emerged, crawling, floating, slithering across the trees. Their eyes glowed red. Their bodies shifted like smoke and armor mixed. Luna's hands began to glow blue. She stood in front of John. "No more running," Rail shouted. "Activate shield." A force field dropped around them. The Hive soldiers crashed against it like waves. Rail turned to Luna. "You must unlock the vault memory now." "Do you feel the code inside you?" She nodded. "It's in the crystal, in my blood." Rail touched her shoulder. "Then remember who you are." Luna closed her eyes, and this time she didn't fight the memory. She opened every door inside. Her mind, she saw her home planet again. Thera, once golden, now quiet. She saw the vault hidden deep inside the planet's moon. It held not weapons, but millions of cryo-sleeping Starburn. The last survivors. And only her DNA could wake them. She opened her eyes, glowing like twin stars. "I remember everything." She raised her hand. The crystal on her chest shattered, sending a massive wave of light that blasted the Hive back into the trees. Every living froze for a moment. Even the stars above seemed to blink. John stood in awe. Rail knelt again. "My queen." Luna didn't respond. She turned to John. "I was born to lead a lost people. But Earth showed me kindness when I was nothing. I will protect it, just like I'll protect my own." Above Earth, the Hive Queen hissed in rage. The vault had awakened. The girl remembered. The war had begun. Before the first blast came silence. Birds stopped singing. Leaves stopped moving. Even the wind held its breath. And then, the sky tore open. A Hive dropship ripped through the clouds like a blade of fire. It didn't come in slow. It fell, screaming, ready to kill. On the ground below, John loaded his last 2 shells. "This is it," he said. "They're not just here for you now, Luna. They're here for all of us." Luna stood beside him, eyes glowing bright. She no longer looked like a lost girl. She stood tall, fearless, a queen of stars in human clothes. "I won't let Earth fall," she said. "I won't lose another home." The ship crashed into the edge of Gray Hill Town, sending dust, fire, and black smoke rising into the sky. Creatures poured out. Hive soldiers, crawling, shifting, glitching shapes. Their bodies cracked with static. Their eyes all locked onto one target. "Luna," Commander Rail shouted from behind her. "They've come for your memory core. If they take it, They'll find the vault and enslave the galaxy. Luna clenched her fists. Then this is where it ends. What followed was chaos. The forest burned. Hive weapons turned trees to ash. The farmhouse was destroyed in a blast of dark matter. But John and Luna had already moved. They led the fight through the fields. Rael's warriors appeared from behind. Cloaked ships engaging the Hive in hand-to-hand combat. Laser swords clashed with black metal claws. Blue plasma lit the night like lightning. John fought beside Luna, firing his shotgun at anything that moved wrong. I didn't sign up for alien war, he grunted. Luna smiled. You adopted one. Then, the Hive hunter returned. His fake human skin was gone. Now he was pure Hive. Metallic bones, black tendrils, no face. Just a glowing mouth whispering like static. Double quotes give us the core, he said. Luna stepped forward alone. No. The hunter struck first. Fast, too fast. But Luna caught his blade midair with glowing hands and forced it back. The ground cracked under her feet as energy pulsed through her veins. I am not just memory, she said. She floated off the ground, her body surrounded by light. I am the living key. The Hive ship in orbit prepared its final weapon, a planetary eraser beam. Time was running out. Rael shouted into his cum. We need the Queen off planet now. But Luna heard him and shook her head. No, if I run, they'll destroy Earth. If I stay, maybe, just maybe, I can stop this. She turned to John. I'm going to the Hive ship. He grabbed her arm. You might not come back. She looked at him softly. You gave me a home when I had nothing. If I don't protect this world, I don't deserve the crown. Minutes later, Luna launched herself into the sky, carried by a beam from Rael's ship. Her body lit like a comet, rising toward the Hive cruiser. Inside, the Hive Queen waited. Ah, child of stars, the Queen hissed. You come to kneel? Luna landed hard, her feet cracking the Hive floor. She looked the creature dead in its red, pulsing eyes. No, she said. I came to end this. The battle between Luna and the Hive Queen was not a fight of fists, but of minds. The Queen invaded Luna's memories, tried to corrupt them. Luna fought back with truth, with emotion. She showed her love for Earth, for John, for kindness. For home, you cannot infect what chooses to feel, Luna said. She released all of it, the entire vault key inside her, a burst of memory. Starburn codes. Ancient energy. All of it. The Hive ship shattered from within, exploding into 1,000 dying sparks. Back on Earth, the black troops screamed and fell, disconnected from the Hive mind. John looked up, tears in his eyes. She did it. The sky cleared. Sun rose, and somewhere in the galaxy, the vault of Thera began to open. Silence returned to the stars. Where the Hive ship once hovered, there was now only dust. And light. For a moment, the entire galaxy held its breath. The war was over. But the girl who ended it had vanished into space. Back on Earth, John stood in the burnt field where his farmhouse once stood. Everything was quiet. No smoke, no sirens. Just the wind. He looked up at the sky. No one had seen Luna since the explosion above. Commander Rael had said only one thing. She unlocked the vault and saved us all. But unlocking it may have cost her everything. But far away, on a planet of glass and golden towers, the vault of Thera stood open. Inside it, millions of sleeping beings began to stir, their cryochambers blinking blue, their bodies glowing gently. And at the center of it all stood Luna. Alive. Changed. She wore royal armor now, but not cold or metallic. It shimmered like moonlight over water. Her eyes held galaxies within them. Her voice, when she finally spoke, echoed across chambers. Wake them gently. They've been in the dark too long. The Starborn had returned. Rael knelt before her. Again, Your Highness, your people await orders. But Luna didn't speak right away. She looked toward the stars, toward Earth. Her home. Not the one she was born in, but the one that loved her when she was lost. A few days passed. Then, one morning, John heard a sound, not a ship. A voice. Behind him, in the cornfield, stood Luna. No guards. No armor, just her, and a soft smile. John didn't move. He just blinked. You came back, he whispered. Luna nodded. You gave me a name, a family, a second life. How could I not? They sat together on a fallen log, watching the sunrise. John chuckled. So, Queen of the Stars now, huh? Luna smiled. They're calling me that. But I told them, I'll only lead them if I can visit Earth. And did they listen? I'm their queen now, she said, teasing. They kinda have. T.O., John laughed. So what happens now? Luna looked at the horizon. I will lead them. I'll rebuild what the Hive destroyed. I'll protect worlds that can't protect themselves. But Earth will always be my anchor. She reached into her pocket and placed something in John's hand. It was a crystal. Not glowing, not dangerous. Just warm. What is it? He asked. My last memory core, she said. If anything happens to me, it'll lead you to me. Just don't sell it at the market for coffee money, he snorted. Can't promise that. Above them, a sleek silver ship descended slowly. Rael stepped out and gave a small bow. Time to return, my queen. Luna looked at John one last time. I'm not saying goodbye, she said. He nodded. Good, I hate goodbyes. As the ship rose into the sky, John watched it grow smaller and smaller, until it became just another star among many. But this one? This one, he would always know. The star that came from another world, landed in his backyard, and became something more than a visitor. She became his daughter.